Getting a divorce in Louisiana is actually simpler than you might think. The spouse filing for divorce must have been a resident of Louisiana for 12 months before filing. The divorce must be filed in the parish of the respondent defendant, signed and in writing, and registered by the recorder. Once the residency requirement is completed, a legal grounds for a divorce must be established. Both general and no-fault divorce are acceptable grounds for divorce. The no-fault reasons are: a spouse desiring a divorce is valid grounds in Louisiana. There are no requirements to show marital breakdown, fault, living separate and apart, or any other basis for a divorce. After the filing of the petition, the divorce is granted after 180 days has elapsed from the filing date and if the spouses have lived separate and apart since filing the divorce petition. Reconciliation is essentially the only defense to this type of divorce. The general reasons for divorce in covenant marriages are that the spouses have been living separate and apart for a period of 2 years or more on the date of filing the petition, that the other spouse has committed adultery, that the other spouse has committed a felony and has been sentenced to death or imprisonment with hard labor, physical or sexual abuse of a spouse or child, abandonment for 1 year or more, and living separate and apart for 1 year or more after a legal separation. Louisiana does not require a parenting plan for child custody. Joint or sole custody is awarded on the best interest of the child. The following is the order of preference: to both parents, to either parent without regard to race or sex of the parents, to the person or persons with whom the child has been living, or to any other person that the court feels suitable and able to provide an adequate and stable environment for the child. Unless proven or agreed upon otherwise, joint custody is presumed in the best interest of the child, awarded based on physical, emotional, mental, religious, and social needs of the child, capability and desire of each parent to meet the child's needs, preference of the child if the child is of sufficient age and capacity, the love and affection existing between the child and each parent, the length of time the child has lived in a stable, satisfactory environment, and the desirability of maintaining continuity, the desire and ability of each parent to allow an open and loving, frequent relationship between the child and the other parent, the wishes of the parents, the child's adjustment to his or her home, school, and community, the mental and physical health of all individuals involved, the permanence as a family unit of the existing or proposed custodial home, the distance between the potential residences, the moral fitness of the parents, and any other relevant factor. The conduct of the proposed guardian is considered only as it bears on his or her relationship with the child. The parents must submit a plan for joint custody which designates the child's residence, the rights of access and communication between the parents and child, and child support amounts. The parent not granted custody is entitled to visitation rights unless that parent has subjected the child to physical or sexual abuse. The court may order the parents to attend a court-approved parenting seminar. Both parents are obligated to support any children of a marriage. The factors for consideration listed in the statute are the needs of the child and the actual resources of each parent. In addition, Louisiana has adopted detailed child support guideline provisions which are contained in the statute. These guidelines are presumed correct unless one of the following make the guidelines unjust or not in the best interests of the child: extraordinary medical expenses of the child or parent responsible for support payments, the permanent or temporary total disability of the parent responsible for support, the need for immediate or temporary support, an extraordinary community debt of the parents, that the combined income of the parents is less than that in the guideline charts, and any other relevant consideration. Louisiana is a community property state. A spouse's separate property, consisting of property acquired before the marriage and gifts or inheritances, are awarded to the owner. The community property is divided equally between the spouses. Personal property necessary for the safety and well-being of the divorcing spouse and any children in his or her custody, including food, eating utensils, clothing, and any other items necessary for their safety and well-being, are awarded to that spouse. Either spouse may ask to use and occupy the family residence pending the division of the community property. The court bases temporary award of the family residence on the value of each spouse's personal property, the economic circumstances of each spouse at the time the division of property is to become effective, and needs of the children. In addition, a spouse may be awarded money for his or her financial contributions made during a marriage to the education or training of a spouse that increase the other spouse's earning capacity. During the divorce proceedings, either spouse may be ordered to pay temporary alimony. Permanent periodic alimony may be granted to the spouse without fault. Alimony shall not exceed 1/3 of the other spouse's income. Considerations are the effect of child custody on the spouse's earning capacity, the time necessary to acquire sufficient education and training to enable the spouse to find appropriate employment, the income, means, and assets of the spouses and the liquidity of the assets, the comparative financial obligations of the spouses, the age and health of the spouses, the needs of the parties, the earning capacity of the parties, the duration of the marriage, the tax consequences of the parties, and any other relevant circumstances. Permanent alimony may be revoked upon remarriage or cohabitation. If child custody is an issue, the court may require that the parents submit to mediation. Visit us today at www.mydivorcepapers.com and click on Louisiana at the bottom of the page. Let mydivorcepapers.com help you file for divorce today.